This is a time lapse of the Nor'easter, December 16th, 2020, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, this is a time lapse that I started of the big Nor'easter. This is in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg, the capital city. Now, I started at approximately, I'd say 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, the 16th of December, 2020, and I turned it off approximately 8 o'clock a.m. on Thursday morning, the 17th. Now, in our area, they were calling for a ginormous snowstorm. They were talking 2 to 3 inches an hour with accumulations of 18 to 24 inches. They definitely said we were going to get more than a foot of snow. So I decided I would set the camera up, put it on a time lapse, and just watch the progression of this enormous nor'easter that hit the northeast corridor of Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and so on. So let's just see what happened with this ginormous nor'easter. Now, I turned it on pretty much when I first noticed some flurries and some snow, and it came down. The roads were actually treated the night before they came by. It came through and treated the roads. So as you can see, it's not sticking on the roads very well in the beginning, but that does change later. Now, in this part of the country, whenever you hear about nor'easters or snowstorms or anything like that, I mean, some people get a little nervous, but it's basically like telling a Floridian that there's a hurricane a-brewing. Yeah, they usually throw some boards in the windows and then fire up the grill and have a party. And that's kind of what we do. It's a normal occurrence. And actually, for the last, I'd say probably 3 years, we have had very, very little snow. Most has been some freezing rain events and some, little sleet, stuff like that. And then we'd have a little dusting here and there of some snow. And then usually later, right before spring, March, late March, almost into April, would get a little 2-3 inches of snow, and then it would all go away. So, of course, when they started calling for 2 feet of snow, 2-3 inches an hour, already with the pandemic, people were, we just went on lockdown again too, not too long ago. So with everyone going to the store and panic buying because we were on lockdown, then when they say 2 feet of snow, that just added to the chaos at the grocery store. So if you didn't have your bread, milk, and eggs before this started, you weren't getting it because the shelves were wiped out. Now here you can see those treated roads that were just wet a while ago. Yeah, they're pretty much white. But as you can see, the Northerners, they don't slow down at all. They keep on buzzing through. Not too much snow slows these guys down, especially the dudes in the pickup trucks. They are invincible, or so they think. And they fly around. But yeah, so here you go. I'll just shut up for a little bit and let you watch it snow. As night falls, so does the temperatures, which makes the snow accumulate just a little bit more and easy. And comes down pretty good there for a while. And you can see the plow trucks every once in a while buzz by. They're not driving the plows, but they're treating the roads. And yes, you'll notice the neighbors across the street do not sleep. They're up all night long. Lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. In and out, running across the street. Up to the neighbor's house who, we won't tell you what the neighbor does up the street. But yeah, in and out, in and out. You can see the dog goes in and out and in and out. The dog's out there in the yard most of the night. The things you see when you're watching a snowstorm. Now, there's something I noticed, just in case anyone else is watching this and does notice, every once in a while you'll see some like orange flashes above the rooftop of the house across the street. That is actually the plow truck on the street down below there. And then one or two more streets down. It's pretty much lighting up the night sky. And you do have to remember when the sun went down and it turned dark. That was like 5 o'clock. It gets dark real early. Plus it was pretty gray and pretty gloomy and dark all day anyway before the snow even hit. And then once it started snowing, it was pretty gloomy. But yeah, the sun went down early, around 5:30. It was dark. But yeah, I noticed, I was watching, I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, that's the plow truck down on the street below. So yeah, every once in a while you'll see an orange flash or two just poking up behind the rooftops of the houses across the street. And that's what that is. And then they'll come up here and you'll see them whiz by. Yeah, there you go. You can see it flashing a little bit. But basically, this goes on all night. They don't drop the plows until the morning when it's all done. But traffic doesn't really stop. This set to 1 hour was 1 minute of filming, so that's why you see the cars and stuff whizzing by pretty quick, because I figured I'm just gonna plunk it up there, face it out the window, and just let it run for about 24 hours. I wound up letting it run for about 20 hours, because once I came down in the morning and noticed that the snow had stopped, I figured I'd just turn it off then. You might think that this is kind of grainy footage, but no, actually it's not grainy footage. It's just the snow in time lapse. It kind of made it look like a little bit of a grainy video, but it's not. It's the snow coming down in that time lapse. That's why it looks like that. And it was very, very windy. I could hear the wind howling most of the night. When I was upstairs, or even when I was downstairs watching TV, you could hear the wind howling outside, whistling through the trees. And so not only was it snowing, it was blowing everywhere. And the way the system was coming through, there was a warm system that was coming up the coast, right in the coast. So it was pulling in a bunch of moisture and dumping it in on the cold front that was coming in from Canada. Damn Canadians. Blame Canada. Yeah. So yeah, with that cold air and then the that little front that was dumping the moisture in, it was very wet snow. And we all know that wet snow means heavy snow. Which, when they're calling for 2 feet or 18 inches, a foot and a half, or 2 feet of snow, you're thinking, oh man, trees and wires and roofs, especially flat roofs, mainly on commercial buildings and stuff. And then you also think, man, I gotta shovel this heavy shit in the morning. So we kind of sit back and just go about our daily. Because again, this is like other folks hearing, hey, there's a hurricane brewing coming your way. Yeah, whatever. We get 5 of them a year. So yeah, that's kind of the way it is here with the snow. Now we go out and prepare. We're not dumb about it. We make sure we have our candles ready, and if we have generators, we make sure we have gas, and make sure we have enough food and water, and the extra blankets are out in case power goes out and we don't have heat. So yeah, we get ready, but we really don't panic, because there's really not a whole lot you're going to do about it anyway. So just like folks in other parts of the country that has to deal with tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever their natural disaster or thing that Mother Nature throws at them in their neck of the woods. We just go, yep, it's winter. That's what happens. Well, we're coming near to the end. The sun's about to come up, and as you can see, the plows are going by, and they are starting to clear the streets already. That means it is winding down, and it is just about over. So, as you can clearly see, we did not get 2 feet of snow. We did not get 18 inches of snow. We actually got around 8 inches of snow, and that's about it. So, no matter what you hear on the news, how they dramatize this epic, historic, city-crippling nor'easter, you can clearly see out my front window for about 20 hours, this is what we got. It was neither a historic, city-crippling nor'easter, at least not for my area, nor was it 2 to 3 inches an hour, nor was it 2 feet of snow. So as the sun rises and the streets are getting cleared and it already starts to melt off of the blacktop, as I throw on my coat and gloves and get ready to go out and shovel, I will leave you. Thanks for watching. This is BlindViews. Have a good one. And yes, that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.